Hey everybody, Gigawiz with Rawrfuls here to show you a little bit about my plugin AdvancedDuty. Mainly the configuration, but also how to use it. Please ignore the red text back here, that is a crash, but I will get to the explanation of why that red text is there. But for now we're going to start with the config, which is freshly regenerated, and I will show you how to go along with it. So there are two modes with AdvancedDuty. There's basically the original duty mode where the original developer would just put the user into admin and then the user could do whatever, and then when they went off duty it would take them out of admin. Then there's my personal method of duty where it puts you into a specific user group that has specific permissions, so you can do things like moderators having certain permissions, admins having different permissions, etc. So we're going to start with that first mode where it works kind of like the original plugin, and the way to set that is right here where it says use admin instead of user groups. Set it to true. Save. Now some of the things after that, you can ignore this user groups portion right here. Keep it in there, but ignore it. So you're going to come down here to the messages. You can change the colors of most of the messages. I'm going to maybe tweak this a little bit in the future, but for now you can change the message colors of when they go on and off duty, two different colors, as well as when they spawn items or vehicles, which that's only one color, when they vanish or go into God mode, again one color, and you can remove users from God mode or vanish mode when they go off duty. So we're going to change some of these colors so you can see them in action. So we're going to make the off-duty message color to be green, and we'll make the spawn message color cyan, and we'll make the vanish God message color blue. Okay, so we'll save those and we'll do rocket, reload, advanced duty. So now if I do /duty, okay, I was on duty before, so if we do /duty, there it goes. Giga is now on duty, and again, it puts me off duty if I do /duty again. So I go back into duty and I go into vanish mode. It says Giga is now on duty and has vanished. And you can set that, yes, I'd like to reload it. You can set that right here. Display message when duty user vanishes. If you set that to false, it won't display that name. So let's set that to false for right now. We'll save, do a rocket, reload, advanced duty again. There you go. It does log in console that I've vanished and reappeared, but it doesn't say anything in the chat. And again, that works on God too. So if you do /God, Giga is now on duty and put themselves in God mode, and that has a separate on and off for it as well. So maybe you want users to be able to see that your admin went into God mode, but not into duty mode. When I spawn items or vehicles, so /I will spawn an MRE. Giga is on duty and is spawned, well, okay. In that case, it's the translation file that I need to fix, but you get the idea. And if I do /v tank, it gives me a tank. Obviously, those should not be inverted, and that's going to be fixed when I actually release this. But you're getting a general idea of how the plugin works. I apologize. It's still in development. So let's move on to my custom user group mode. The way to do this is we set use admin instead of user groups to false. And then these permission strings here are what you're going to use to define what users get put where. So the permission string is what permission the user has to have in order to be put into that group. So we're going to do just duty.mod, and the group name is equal to the group ID in the rocket permissions, or if you're using LPX, I think it's just name. Where is my server? There it is. So we go back to rocket. We're going to do this with the that's not what I wanted to open. With the basic permissions. I'll probably make another video with LPX in the future, but for now. So I've made a group and I've named it mod. I've given the display name of moderator. So we're going to come back to our configuration here, and the group name is going to be mod. keep in mind that capitalization counts. So if you made it to go mod, then you have to make the ID mod. Otherwise it will error out. We're going to keep it lowercase for now. And you can have an unlimited of these, you keep going down the list. And what you do is in the group here, you give the permissions that you want that user to be able to access. So I've given myself God, Vanish, I, and Teleport. And then I come up to the group that I'm currently in, which is VIP, and I give myself Duty, so I can access the Duty command, and Duty.mod, which tells the plugin that I'm a moderator and I should have the moderator permissions. So then we do another rocket reload. And if I go into Duty again, if I do God, you can see that I go in God mode. Well, I was already in God mode, but if I do /v tank, I'm still admin. I apologize. Trying that again. Okay, you don't have permissions to execute this command because I don't have /v commands. But if I do /God, I still have God mode. And you can do this for unlimited ones, so we'll do another example. So, let's copy this, and we'll call this one duty.smod, and we'll give them permissions to the smod group. And we will make another group here. And we'll call it smod super moderator. We'll leave the color the same. We'll get rid of the members because we're not in it right now. Parent group is default. We'll get rid of the permission God and the TP permission, and we'll give them permission to spawn vehicles. Save it. And here we're going to just do rocket reload because it needs to reload both the permissions and the plugin. So now if I do oh, there's one thing I forgot to do. Yes, I'd like to reload both. When I go into here, I have to give myself duty.smod, not duty.mod. So I can just do p reload. Now if I do /duty again, okay, I'm off duty. I go back in. Did I not do something? When that happens and it just keeps telling you repeatedly you're not on duty, then the permissions are not the same. So group ID is smod. Group name is smod. That should be right. That might be part of it, but I doubt it. No, I don't need the extra one in there. Group, ID, smod, display name. Okay, so we're just going to copy smod over. Just reload everything. There we go. I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I added a space or something, but you got to make sure that the ID is... Yes, I'd like to reload it. You got to make sure that this group name value here is exactly the same as the ID. So in this case, smod. So going back to this, I'll show you. I can do /v tank again, and it'll give me a tank. But if I try to go into God mode, it won't let me. That's kind of the basics of it. It does integrate with LPX. I do have to look at LPX's configuration to verify this, and if it's not, then I'll add it into a future update, probably one before I release it. Otherwise, enjoy. Real quick, I wanted to go over the red text. I almost forgot to do it. I apologize. The red text in console comes from a misconfiguration between the configuration of AdvancedDuty and the permissions of Rocket. What I mean by that is, if the group name here is misspelled or the group doesn't exist and you're using user group mode instead of admin mode, then that will come up. So you want to make sure that the ID here, mod, is correctly typed in the group name. I'll probably try to make a fix for this in the future, but it's not really a plugin breaking bug. So if you see the error, just double check your configuration. And do keep in mind that it only happens when you're using user group mode. It doesn't happen if you set this to true and just use admin mode. Okay, so one more quick thing. I forgot to mention that if you're using admin mode instead of user group mode, if you have this set to true, then you do not need the sub permissions in the permissions.config file. So if you just want duty to put them into admin, you just need to give them permission to use the duty command, which is just the word duty. I might add MySQL to it in the future, but for now it's going to be just config based. Let me know what you guys think, if I should add a MySQL mode to it or not. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful to you. Let me know if you have any comments, suggestions, and I hope you enjoy the plugin.